What's up, ladies and gents? In today's video, we're going to be talking all about Chainlink. We're going to be discussing the recent news here on Chainlink. We're going to be discussing the charts, and I'll be giving you guys my price prediction for Chainlink over the coming days and weeks, as well as my targets for 2025. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. Of course, if you are a new viewer, then welcome to this channel. If you do like this sort of content, hit the like button and subscribe for more. If you are a returning viewer, as always, welcome back to the channel. It's great to have you all here. So of course, we're going to be diving straight into this video. We're first going to talk about the recent news and the shorter term here on Chainlink, and then I'll move on to my bull market targets for Link. So of course, we are on the one-day chart right now, and of course, despite the really good news that we've had here on Chainlink, I'll discuss that in a bit, we actually have seen a bit of a dip today. You can see that this wick as of today has gone down to $21.50. So if you managed to buy the dip here on Chainlink, then congratulations to you. Of course, you can see we've had a market wide crash today. Every crypto that we cover on this channel, bar ADA, is clearly in the red, and the reason for that is because we had a bit of economic data come out just a few hours ago, which proved that inflation was a little bit higher than expected. So things are down today. Of course, that's the reason why we have seen this dip despite the really good news that we've had. Of course, that good news is the fact that we have seen Chainlink buying up their own token. So they've bought, as of just a few hours ago, so 3 hours ago, you can see that they tweeted that they bought 44,000 links. So that's roughly $1 million worth of link that they've added to their reserve. Now, they started their reserve just last week. They came in with a big purchase there to start off the reserve of 65,000 link. And now they've added that extra 40,000 to it to make a total of nearly 110,000. And this is something that I think they want to do weekly as well. So this is very, very bullish because it reduces the circulating supply of Chainlink because it's going into their reserve. Of course, if we get a reduction of supply and the demand continues to grow, then we should see these buybacks supporting a price increase here in Link. So this news in itself is bullish for Chainlink. Now, on top of that as well, we have had a record high here for Chainlink, not in the price, unfortunately, but we have seen a record high for the Google searches here in Chainlink. You can see this is for the past 5 years. The search term is Chainlink. And as you can see, as of this week, we have had a record high number of searches here for Chainlink. So of course, when we get this level of interest in Chainlink, we generally tend to see the prices appreciate with it as well. And of course, this record high is very bullish again for Chainlink because of course, the more interest there is in Chainlink, the more awareness is generally spread about the token. That's more potential investors in the Chainlink ecosystem, and that generally again supports a price increase. So we've got two very good pieces of news today here for Chainlink. One not so good about that inflation data that has come out, but I do think that this little dip that we've seen is a good time to be buying Chainlink. And the reason for that is because if we have a look at the chart here on Chainlink, we have seen a very nice bullish trend in general over the past few weeks. In fact, what we've seen, in my opinion, throughout 2025 has been something that looked like this. Now, what you see here on the chart is a resistance for a double bottom pattern that we have been monitoring on this channel. So of course, you can see that we've got quite a strong resistance that has been tested on multiple occasions. We can see that we've got two bottoms down here, and if we draw the support between them, we get a line that is roughly parallel to this line up here. So essentially, we've got a neckline of the double bottom pattern. We've got a double bottom where we can treat these two the same. And of course, over the past few days, we have broken out to the upside of this resistance line. So if this double bottom pattern is to be respected, what we could see over the coming weeks here on Chainlink is a price target of the distance between the bottom to where the resistance is. And if we drag this measuring tool to where we saw the breakout, you guys can see we could be expecting $37 in Chainlink over the coming days and weeks. Now, on top of this chart pattern that we're seeing here on Chainlink, something that I think will massively support Chainlink going to this target here at $37 in the shorter term is the fact that here on Ethereum, we have seen this really, really large rally, of course, over the past few weeks. You may have noticed that Ethereum has done this massive pump to the upside. Now, of course, Chainlink is an Ethereum token. It's part of the Ethereum ecosystem. And so when Ethereum is doing well, we're going to see Chainlink doing well as well, but with a little bit of a delay. The reason for that delay is because we have this capital rotation chart. And of course, we're in phase 2 at the moment where Ethereum is just outperforming quite a lot of coins. But at some point, as Ethereum continues to go higher, we're going to see people start taking profits on their Ethereum holdings, and money is going to start flowing more into altcoins, large cap cryptos like Chainlink. And so in phase 3, this is really where we'll see Chainlink excel. And of course, at the moment, while Ethereum is going up, this is only going to be good for Chainlink in the slightly longer timeframes. Now here on Ethereum, what's notable about the whole structure on Ethereum is the fact that we've had this 5-year long consolidation where prices have just been heading sideways over the past 5 years. You can see we've got this strong resistance up here. We've had a strong support down here. And over the past 2 weeks, we've seen a breakout from this triangle. Now, of course, we get a price target here on Ethereum that's clearly in 5-figure territory. And of course, if Ethereum continues to pump up to the price target from where this triangle lies, then that is really, really good for us here in Chainlink as well. So the fact that we've seen a breakout from this triangle here on Ethereum means that, in my opinion, Link is going to be going a lot higher in the shorter term and the longer term as well. So of course, if you want to get $10 completely free to buy Link before we see this pump to $37, then don't forget to check out the MEX exchange. As you can see here on the screen, they're giving every new user who signs up using the link in the description down below $10 to get started. Now, this exchange does not require KYC. The only thing you need to do to get this $10 is to deposit some fiat or crypto into your new account, and you'll get that $10 straight away. So like I said, you can use that to buy some Link before it pumps, or you can long or short Link with up to 200 times leverage using the MEX futures. Again, link for this is in the description down below. Thank you guys for all of your support. Let's get back into this video. So of course, $37 is the short-term target. What we are looking for in terms of target here on Chainlink for the bull market peak is something that looks like this. So if we zoom out here on the Link chart, what you'll also notice, very similar to Ethereum, is that Chainlink has been printing this triangle pattern. Now, this is also a multi-year triangle pattern that we've seen here on Chainlink. You can see that we've got a strong support here for the price. We've got a strong resistance that's been in place since 2021. The only difference here on Chainlink is that we have not yet broken out to the upside of this triangle. But when we do, we could be expecting a huge price target. Now, the price target from a triangle is the distance between the first test of support down here to the first test of resistance. And if we drag this measuring tool to where we could potentially see a breakout here on Chainlink, let's just say we see a breakout that occurs in September, we could be looking at a huge price target here on Chainlink of $300. That's basically a 1000% upside, or about an 11x from when we break out from this upper resistance line. Now, what you'll notice as well is I gave you that short-term price target of $37, but what's extremely interesting is that you can see that the upper resistance only lies at $27 to $28 right now. So if we see that price target hit in the shorter term, that would also mean that we've broken out to the upside of this triangle. So what we want to see ideally is when we get to $27, $28 here on Chainlink, we want to see the prices really shoot above this resistance, really break through, not just some sort of shy price action. We really want to see large green candles taking prices above this resistance here. And if that occurs, we could have just triggered off this mega triangle here on Chainlink with that price target at $300. Now, in the most optimistic case scenario as well, what you'll also notice is that if we drag this support line all the way down to that 2020 low, you can see that that is able to encompass that low as well. So we've still got a pretty perfect support now, tested even more times. And if we take this as the triangle rather than that smaller triangle that we saw a little bit before, then we get an even larger price target here on Chainlink of basically $1,000. So if we break out at the same spot, you can see we are looking at a price target of $1,053 here on Chainlink. So of course, that is the most optimistic scenario here for Chainlink. If you're feeling a little bit more conservative or you want a little bit more of a sure bet for this bull market, then we also have the fib levels here for Chainlink. Now we use these fib levels because, as you guys can see, Chainlink has used these fib levels as places of support and resistance on multiple different occasions. So for example, during this accumulation period, we saw this 0.236 fib tested on multiple occasions. We've got this 0.618 fib tested as a resistance. So Chainlink throughout its history has tested these fibs on lots of different occasions. So when Chainlink goes to make new all-time highs this bull market, then the next fibs, the next three natural fibs that we have here for Chainlink are these three here. So the most conservative fib level is this 1.272 fib that tells us we could see about $100 here on Chainlink. Beyond that, we've got this 1.414 fib that tells us we could see about $150, and the golden fib ratio here, the 1.618 fib, tells us we could see $244 here on Chainlink. So those are the three price targets according to the fib levels. I do think that $100 is a pretty solid bet for Chainlink this cycle. I also think that we have a good shot at $300 because of this triangle pattern that we've seen here on Chainlink. It's not just an isolated triangle. We are seeing triangles throughout the whole crypto market. Ethereum, for example, has a multi-year triangle. We've seen a multi-year triangle on Stellar. We've seen a multi-year triangle on HBAR. We've seen a multi-year triangle on XRP. So many cryptos are showing us this same pattern, which gives me a lot of conviction that Chainlink is also showing us this multi-year triangle. And when we break out from it, then it gives me a lot of conviction that we could hit at least $300 as a result. Now, the only question then becomes, when is that going to happen? And honestly, guys, it's going to happen during this bull market, whether that's going to be in Q4 of 2025, so October and November of 2025, or sometime at the start of 2026. We'll just have to wait and see. But I do think that this price target of at least $300 is possible this bull cycle. So at the end of the day, I'm extremely bullish here for Chainlink. So at the end of the day, I do think that Chainlink is going to be a big runner this cycle. Hopefully, guys, this video was helpful for you. Then let me know down in the comments if you are holding any Chainlink at this point. If you are, let me know what your personal price targets are for the peak of this bull cycle. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.